Hi guys, welcome back. It's LSP. It's currently the 4th of March 2021. I do a quick rundown of the usual pairs. I hope everybody's well. So we'll just get straight to it. Euro USD, not a great deal has happened. We're just tapping into this level down here. I have extended it slightly just to encompass this recent touch into this level, but we came deeper into this level here. And we've got this larger level up here and this level down here, and we've got this 4-hour level here. Now I'm leaving these levels on because they're still quite important at the minute. If we just go down to the hourly for a second just to kind of get a feel for what the hourly's saying. It's Thursday, so at this point during the week, I mean, there's not really much going on. It is quite muted. And as I said, I mean, Euro USD slowed down now. There was the opportunity to take a small fade into this level up here, which I did mention in one of the episodes a couple of episodes ago. But as far as now is concerned, maybe a little run into this area here, but range-wise, there's nothing really that I'd be interested in doing with Euro USD. It's more of just a watch, so I'll leave this on the 4-hour. Pound USD. Okay. We still have the upper level up here, just there, look. If we just drop down to the daily, can't really see much on the daily really, but you can see that it's starting to slow down in this area here. So we just drop down to the 4-hour. So we tag this level up here, okay, that I made a note of. We dipped into this level, okay, which I made a note of as well, and then we had a really nice price response away from that, and then the recent 4-hour candle which we're in now. Let's go down to the hourly just to see how all of this looks. Here we go, that's better. Yeah, you see, really nice day today. Dipped a little, just took out the low here, took out this low here, dipped into this again, and you see what's interesting, and this is something for your notepads. You see that price came into this level here, okay, and it's picking up liquidity just here, right, on that one. Then it comes down, almost equal, and then it comes down again, okay, and it takes this low, it takes this low, and then dips back into this, okay. Why do you think that is? Yeah. And then obviously the ensuing move, as we start to run higher, is it likely that price is going to start to seek for liquidity higher after doing that? Yeah, these are questions that I used to ask myself all the time, and then I would watch price relentlessly, to kind of see whether or not my analysis was correct, whether my the answers to my questions were in the charts, or whether it was me, or whether there was something else I was missing. So just have a think about that. In terms of where we're going next, there is an imbalance over here, so it is possible that price could continue to drive higher. So I will leave this on the hourly chart. In terms of something for tomorrow, there's a little bit to get through here, but it's not really. I don't think this is going to stop price here. Just drop back up to the go back up to the 4-hour actually. Take a quick look. Dip, liquidity, perhaps takes. So yeah, I think this is gonna start to drive into this area up here. I would even go as far as to say 140. Yeah, maybe another 30 or 40 pips. But my thinking is we're probably going to get a Friday high of the week on pound USD. So I'll have a look during London tomorrow, see if there's a quick scalp there. The pound Japanese yen, as I said, I mean, look, it's unfortunate that I never got this trade. The target was hit the 150, which is what I expected. I did show that yesterday, the orders, which I had at 148.85, and then I adjusted the order to 148.80. For the reasons that I explained when we get the rollover, and sometimes during Asia we get that spread opens up and it dips. But really nice price response. I mean, this is lovely. There was a New York trade, which for me, not the type of trade that I like. but it is definitely technically correct to take a trade like this, and there was enough of a range to go into that 150 handle. It's taken out this high, so let's go back up to the 4 hour for a second. Yeah, we're so far out now. We're gonna have to go up to the weekly again just to get a look for this. Really, you see, this is very, very nice. So obviously, let's take these off now because I don't need these anymore. Let's jump up to the weekly and see where price is going. Yeah, this is very strong, to be fair. But what's interesting is, let me make a note of this. Okay, and actually, I'm going to do it with the rectangle. I'm going to make a note of this area here. Okay. All right, and let's make it white because purple's starting to do my head in, to be honest. So the let me just encompass the open of this body here. There we go. So you see this last week's price action. Obviously, we went all the way up and we came all the way down, because it started to raid all of this liquidity up here, and obviously I spoke about all of this as it was going up there. Now it's been negated completely, yeah. So all of that reversal and that fade that I was looking for at the time has been negated completely, okay, on this week's price action. So if this continues strong, okay, we are likely to start to drive into two areas. All right, this area here, okay, which we're just tapping into now. All right, so we're going to do yellow and we're going to do white. Okay, so we're just tapping into now, which I expect this is probably going to stall price a little bit. But remember, it's already dipped into this area of liquidity already. Yeah, now it doesn't mean just because it went into this, it cleared it all out. Yeah, and this is what a lot of people make the mistake of assuming that when price goes above highs, it just scoops up all the liquidity and that's the end of that. That's not the case. And this is really important what I'm going to say now. Yeah, so please pay attention. Really, like, pause the video. You know, you have to pause the video. Sorry. Take a step back, get a notepad, and really pay attention to what I'm about to say, because again, you know, not a lot of people talk about this stuff. So I'm going to go into some things now. Depending on how price drives into a liquidity pool, okay, will tell you whether or not there is still remaining liquidity left in that liquidity pool. All right, honestly, it's so important what I've just said. Very, very important. It depends how prices arrived at that liquidity pool, how it started. Okay, so all the way down here. So how did price start before it started driving up into this liquidity? So all of this liquidity above these highs up here, how did price start to drive towards that? How did it end as it got there? What was the price response as it went there, as it got into that liquidity pool, and so on? All of this matters, yeah. And as you start to piece all of these things together, it tells you whether or not there's still remaining liquidity there. Okay, so based on everything that we're seeing here on the pound Japanese yen, we're probably going to continue going a little bit higher. And again, this is Japanese yen dependent, but we're probably going to continue going a little bit higher. We're going to dip into this area here, but remember, and this is again very, very important, pay particular attention to this tail just here. Okay, so this week just there, where you see that price went up and it reversed just there. This tail, okay, it's not wiped out, but this tail, okay, was responsible for picking up a lot of sell liquidity. So as price is coming up, there's a lot of that liquidity, okay, that is not there. All right, it's absorbed a lot of that liquidity. So as price is coming up, there's less resistance as it's going up. So the remaining liquidity that should be there is above these highs, okay, and then above this tails high. So if it does get up there, it's likely to go above this high if it really starts to gain some speed. If it starts to slow down, okay, my thinking would be, based on what we're seeing in the structure of price and the order flow, is that price is going to start to stall around this area, do whatever it needs to do, slow down, facilitate its trade, pair its orders, okay, and then start to drive towards this area up here. The other thing, and I know I'm going on and I'm talking a lot about pound Japanese yen, but the other thing is that this drive back up here is a complete rebalancing. So if it does start to get back, if it does start to pick up some speed and it gets through all of this, or it pauses and it starts to grind higher still, this high is not going to be a problem, and it will go straight for this. Yeah, and it will do it quite rapidly. So just bear that in mind. In terms of going forward, there's nothing there for us tomorrow. I personally won't be doing anything with pound Japanese yen tomorrow other than just looking. Going into next week, it would be nice if it starts to stall, maybe a little bit of a dip, a reversal, some sort of confirmation entry, and then we kind of drive up into and above this high. Pound Aussie dollar. This is the hourly, so let's just jump back up to the daily for a second. It's getting a bit messy, to be honest. Now we're going to need the weekly for this. So pound Aussie dollar getting a bit messy, and again, really want to see it below this low. I'm going to leave this line here. Obviously, all the liquidity below here, which I've mentioned many times. And again, we're just going to keep skipping past this until we see and start to see some acceleration to the downside. I'm not interested in doing anything with this on the upside. USD Japanese yen really started to pick up some speed now. So for me, with this one, if I just go over to the weekly, I'm going to zoom in a little bit more now. Okay, because this is on the radar, right, for a fade. Really not interested in this in terms of long. Never have been. Never mentioned it. If you guys have been, if you're new to the channel, obviously, I've been doing many episodes. I think we're on episode 24, 25 or whatever, but I think it's 24 actually. But all the episodes up to this point today, I've just bypassed USD Japanese yen. And for those of you who've been around, obviously, since the beginning, you'll know we just keep bypassing Japanese yen, USD Japanese yen, straight past it. Whereas today, we're zooming in, we're taking a look, and going into next week, we're coming into an area now where there's a lot of crap, basically. So what we'll do, and I'll do this over the weekend, is we're going to break down this area here. So we're going to make a note of this. So we're going to break down all of this, okay, and we're going to start to look in this where we can find an area where price, if it starts to drive up into this area, is it going to go through this area and start to challenge these highs? If it does, maybe there's a potential run into that area and a small fade for a short. Or if it's going to stall and start to drive into this area, so maybe some midway, or 3/4 up or 2/3 up, and then we look for a fade that way. As far as a long is concerned, I'm not interested in a long, and this has got to do with the Japanese yen, nothing to do with the USD, but it's the Japanese yen analysis that I've done previously, and also the what was I going to say? Sorry, the Japanese yen analysis. I'm so sorry, guys. My brain's just gone blank. Yeah, in terms of going long, I've got no interest in going long purely based on the fact that it's the Japanese yen analysis and cross-pair analysis based on the pound Japanese yen, the USD Japanese yen, the euro Japanese yen, and the Aussie dollar Japanese yen. All of that analysis, that not only do I show you guys, but obviously I do some other analysis, just solely on the Japanese yen and the Japanese yen index and the Nikkei and some other stuff as well. And this is why I've got no interest in doing anything short, in terms of USD Japanese yen. So if I do find some sort of area, when we break it down over the weekend, we'll have a look. USD CAD, hourly. Let's take a look at the daily. Starting to get a bit messy now. Initial response, beautiful. Didn't quite take out that high. Reversal. Okay. Dipped into this area, takes out the low, and then straight through today to drive into this area. So what we're going to do is we're going to encompass just this candle here. We're going to get rid of this, okay, and we're going to go down to the 4 hour. And we're going to go down to the 4 hour, and we're going to make this like so, and then we're just going to keep an eye on this, going into the look ahead. So we'll let this week finish, and then we'll do the analysis over the weekend with USD CAD, and we'll see if there's anything that we can pick up on this going into next week. Euro Japanese yen again. You know, this is all Japanese yen related. It's got nothing to do with the euro, because we can see that the euro is starting to slow down across the board. There's just a lot of weakness coming in, you know, into the Japanese yen. So this little drive that we're getting now on the euro Japanese yen, similar to the pound Japanese yen. What I'll do is I'm going to extend this up here, and I'm just going to bring it out slightly to there. Okay, actually that's where it needs to be, here. There we go. Alright, and that's probably where we're going to end up on the euro Japanese yen, so we will keep an eye on that one, but nothing there in terms of trade. Again, Aussie dollar Japanese yen, we're going to have to come out on this one. Already tagged this. I'm going to leave this here. First initial response, driving towards that again. I keep mentioning this, but I'm going to say it again. This is Japanese yen related. There's a lot of weakness coming into the Japanese yen at the minute, and this is why a lot of these cross pairs are just running. What I will do, just in terms of a study, and I'm not expecting price to actually drive into this area, but at least if it does start to gain some legs, it's going straight for the bottom of this square. So we're talking around about maybe 87, but at least halfway. So I'd say 85. You know, between 84.50 and 85 is probably where the Aussie dollar Japanese yen is going to end up. Gold, 16.50 for me. Yeah, definitely below 17 now. And then I'm looking at least 1680 to 1650 on gold, and then I'll look to make another purchase on the actual physical gold metal. Silver, nothing there, so we'll just bypass that one. Alright guys, so I'm going to leave it at that. I hope everybody's well. I'll do a quick update tomorrow, depending on what's going on. And if I don't manage to get anything done tomorrow, then obviously we'll do the normal look ahead over the weekend. Hope everybody's having an awesome day, and I will catch up with you at some point either tomorrow or during the weekend. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon.